Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. I hope I've got a better signal and better volume this evening, and I'll wait for some people to get in the chats to let me know. But anyway, this is Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas to everyone. And I'm sorry I'm being quiet there for a second, but I'm just checking out how the clock's going, how things are looking. I know you all are probably with family, but I did want to put a short video as I'm not going to be posting anything tomorrow on Christmas Day, unless something really important pops up. But anyway, so yeah, I've got a good signal, and I've got a couple videos on play. I see people coming in the chats. Let me get this to where I can see what's going on the screen. And I'm going to play a few videos to see how they transcribed. And I hope my volume's better. And I hope Charlotte comes in. And I had my banner up yesterday thanking people that were helping with the channel. And I didn't update it to include Dory. I got to see if she comes in so I can thank her. I was a little distracted with the audio issues we were having. How's everything sound tonight, folks? Hi, Karen. Hi, B-Dog. Hi, Sandy. Let me see who all's here. Bubba, you better be in here. There he is, Bubba. We were looking for you yesterday. Hi, Doc. Auntie Will. Wanda, how you doing? Thank you much, Wanda. Sandy, I thank you all for helping me out with the channel. And anyway, I've got some videos I want to play. And I have a thought that I want to share with you all. And I'm getting 5x5s. Hi, Auntie Well, how are you? So anyway, and as I go along, I put up memes. If you've already seen them, you know, it's always good to see them again. Or if you're new to the channel, I want to thank my new subscribers, everybody that's tuning in tonight, and future people who come to watch the video after the broadcast. Remember that you can watch the chats after the video's been posted for about a day, I think. You can watch the chats go by. And if you want to be part of the chats, subscribe so you'll know when I go live and get notified. Anyway, so I've got one video I'm going to play here. We were talking yesterday about fear and a lot of things, how they intimidate. And so I got some clips and transferred them over to this device to see how things went. Merry Christmas to you, Bubba. And I'm going to play them. We'll see how it goes. And I've got one clip I want to play that's really important about Maricopa County. Oh, I'm not even allowed to say that. Boy, this freedom of speech is really something else, isn't it? Boy, it's amazing. But anyway, let me go ahead and play this clip. And you all might want to see there in the bottom of the video, there's a little thing where you can take clips out and send them to your friends or save them for your own reference. You could even make your own video with them. We can talk about that at another time. But let me cut my mic off and I'll play this clip and then a couple others. We'll see how they do.
They'll die. Women are going to die, Gail. Women will die. You are also not going to allow trans kids to play sports. Children like.
We've seen that trans kids are an extremely high suicide rate.
To hear a 10-year-old say that they would rather die than experience male puberty.
The most comprehensive study to date on climate change predicts more and more people are going to die from air pollution if changes are not made.
People are suffering and dying. People are dying.
These policies kill. People will die. People die. How many more people have to die to get some gun control? Your mistake is killing the children in your state.
This decision and this policy will kill people. people, we are also going to see a lot of South Dakota women die because of this.
It's not an extreme statement to say that women will die.
I thought I was going to die.
People are dying because of misinformation.
How many more Americans have to die?
Люди, які прихильні від цього.
So anyway, that some of these clips cut off a little early, but you heard the DIE word in there. I don't know how many times. And I do want to put this up. Isn't this something how we talked about the other night? I don't know, was it 3 or 4 nights ago? What was the SH in the drops I was reviewing where I said it was a warning shot? And a lot of people in chats came up with Sean Hannity. Here's some of the little blurry, but it says Mike Lindell says that Sean Hannity told him he shouldn't talk about 2020 because people would come after him and hurt him. And this was an interview. I took a screen grab. And that was back around the time when I didn't really realize that Sean Hannity was somebody who was getting a whipped in line, so to speak. But it's funny how information started coming out right after we had reviewed that drop. But anyway, and I also talked about many times in the past how they take our faith. They take our faith out of the equation and push whatever it is their normal. Oh, there's a nice meme for y'all. MAGA and Ultra MAGA. I'll put that up bigger in a second. I'll play this clip for you, and you may want to. I don't know how it transferred, but we'll see.
This is the real footage, but this is the tampered footage.
How do you turn this around? Well, first off, I need the first thing
The issue with sin. It makes us, our sin that's in us makes us do those things. And the only salvation for this sin is the gospel. The only way to really cure that what's on the inside is understanding that Jesus Christ died for our sins. And so to me, on a micro level, it's understanding.
So, just like that, we lost him. I know.
Masters champion, Bubba Watson. And in second, I got to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. This day means so much more than putting on this green jacket in many ways.
Well, the gist of that video is that they exclude religion wherever they can in their videos. They cut the players off when they're thanking the higher power, that they appreciate the guidance and help, anything like that. But then again, you've got something like this. Let me play this one for you.
Jesus owns your soul. Type it in the comments right now. We sold our soul to the devil. How can this place be?
About a week, not today, bro, about a week ago, I sold my soul.
But it didn't work out, and so I sold my soul to the devil.
Why do you still do it? Why are you still out here?
Well, it goes back to the destiny thing. I made a bargain with it, a long time ago, and I'm holding up my hand.
What was your bargain?
To get where I am now.
Should I ask who you made the bargain with?
with the chief commander.
On this earth?
And this earth, and then in a world we can't see.
Jesus.
So I hope y'all were able to hear that, where they made the bargains with. You compare that with your friends to where they exclude it and edit it out of the news. And we see that there's two sides to this struggle. And here we go with DJT, a speech he gave at the World Economic Forum. And I was talking with somebody on the phone. I was talking with Red, I believe. And I said that that was a time when he was finishing up a pretty much, you might as well say, a world tour. When he first was elected and he began his administration, he went to many different nations and he was received with a lot of respect, a lot of ceremony. And I believe there was a lot of governments and presidents that were submitting to Donald Trump. And he capped it off with a trip to Davos, Switzerland, where he was with, I don't want to overuse the term belly of the beast, but his speeches, both at the UN and at the World Economic Forum, were covered very little, but he has a way of, in very short and concise words, getting right to the point. So I'll go ahead and play this for you now.
We must reject the perennial prophets of doom and their predictions of the apocalypse. They are the heirs of yesterday's foolish fortune tellers, and I have them, and you have them, and we all have them. And they want to see us do badly, but we don't let that happen. They predicted an overpopulation crisis in the 1960s, mass starvation in the 70s, and an end of oil in the 1990s. These alarmists always demand the same thing: absolute power to dominate, transform, and control every aspect of our lives. We will never let radical socialists destroy our economy, wreck our country, or eradicate.
There again, it's not the complete clip, but he's basically telling the doomsayers, the people who stoke fear, that it's not going to happen. We're not going to allow it to happen. And that's what I wanted to talk to you all about this evening after what I discussed yesterday, their tactics, their bullying, they're frustrating people, aggravating, and trying to do this stuff is being exposed, and we are pushing back against it. And this time of the year, this celebration that we're having and going to have is where we have to unite and be strong. We say Merry Christmas to everybody we meet, that without fear. We were driving down the road, a friend of mine, and we saw a State Department highway sign putting out in big letters, Happy Holidays. And, why couldn't it say Merry Christmas? And then say Happy New Year, Happy Holidays, all three, whatever. But no, it's just a Happy Holidays, a political statement, an exclusion. And we're not going to allow that. And as I go through these, let me see. Right here's another one. Oops, I already played that one. I'll play, let's see. I may have gotten, here we go. The unified message that they always try to send us. These TikTok videos are hard to get transcribed, but I went ahead and did it, so I'll show you one more. Hi, Wanda. Hi, Wanda. Hi, Pamela. Hi, Patriot Starfighter. Hi, Dory. I mentioned you earlier. Thank you so much for helping out the channel. And Wanda's helped out the channel. I appreciate it. You all have a link in the description if anybody wants to help out the channel. This is viewer supported and creator supported only. And any help you all can give is greatly appreciated. Let me play this clip for you. It might be a little hard to understand, but you get the gist of it.
I am not asking anybody to take a chance on me. I'm asking you to take a chance on your own aspirations. I'm not just asking
take a chance on me. I'm also asking you to take a chance on your own aspiration.
I haven't spent much of my life in politics, as most of you know, but I've spent enough time in Washington to know how much we need to change Washington.
I haven't spent a lot of time learning the ways of Washington, but I've been there long enough to know that the ways of Washington must change.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces community,
Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism.
Anyway, this video was pretty much showing a practiced and unified message. And what was the latest one that we saw was that this fella here was like Churchill. Churchill, every media outlet, whether it was cable, whether it was the regular news, every single one of them were evoking the name of Churchill when dealing with this individual here, and all on the same day, very early in the morning. So somebody, Pamela, were you somebody 3? Yes, I did, honey. And I was going to say thank you, and I was going to add somebody 3 because you put in there somebody. So it's no mystery. The mystery is solved, Pamela. Ha ha. I got somebody 1 and somebody 2. But anyway, yesterday and the day before, I've been speaking with people and putting out the message that we got a march. We got a long road. You know, the other thought that comes to mind is always be on guard and be prepared in a good way, mentally. Because as Christmas is approaching, and I don't want to put a picture up of it because it's something that a historic picture of American history is actually enough to have your video looked at. Can you believe that? But anyway, if you can imagine in your mind's eye the picture Elon Musk had on his nightstand of Washington crossing the Delaware. And also many of you may have seen that posted on the information site that a lot of us know about, that is denoted by 1 letter, if you all know. Yes, Pamela, I'll have to check it because it said somebody, and it did I'll have to check that, honey, but I do appreciate it. I did get it. Yes, I appreciate it very much, Pamela. Hi, Ann. How are you? So, anyway, if you can put in your mind's eye that picture I'm talking about of Washington crossing the Delaware, and as we all know, on a Durham boat, I've mentioned in the past that some of the largest or most significant military operations have occurred at Christmas. And here we are at Christmas. And we have seen the battle lines, what the battle lines are between. The short video I just showed you of everyone saying they sold their soul. The video that shows many of the news stations editing or cutting off athletes that praise God. We know what the battle is between. We know that that this is principalities that we're fighting. We know the quotes from the Bible. We know this is a spiritual battle. And so now we're coming to this Christmas, and Donald Trump has been sending out mixed signals. He said, Americans haven't felt it enough, but they will. He said, are you ready for 2024? Because I am. All with the notion that we're going to be heading into a long slog our march into 2024. But I also want you all to know that some of the most significant military operations have happened at Christmas. The Battle of the Bulge, which was the Third Reich's last gasp, less than 100 days before the end of the Third Reich, denoted by the suicide of Adolf. Less than 100 days prior to his ending, they conducted the Adrian's offensive, and over 1 million men were involved. It was a lashing out of the beast in its death throes. And the situation with Washington crossing the Delaware was to attack mercenaries. They were Hessians. And both events and many others on Christmas were big events. So, okay, I am preparing people, and I am toning down people's expectations for someone come riding in on a white horse to save us all. We've been told by General McInerney, by Donald Trump, by many people that we have to make the change. And I feel that what's happening, we're being given the opportunity to make change, and many of us are taking advantage of that. Like you all watching this video, me creating these videos to get the word out, to get the truth out. But then again, that doesn't preclude. What is the most desirable thing in the military operation? I want to ask the chats, people who haven't dropped off, what is the primary goal in many instances of a military operation? See if anybody gets it. Yes, I know, Patriot Starfighter. You never know, Pamela. We know that they can influence the weather. That was talked about by George Bush Jr. So with a military operation, what is a primary goal if you can achieve a primary goal of a military operation? Rolling blackouts for 2 days, Bubba. Well, you might not. We were wondering where you were yesterday. You probably couldn't get a signal or didn't have a phone charged. And let's see. Has anybody venturing? There goes the Eggman. Hit it on nail on the head. Surprise. Surprise. The Hessians were surprised. And they were wiped out. And they were shown no quarter. They were unlawful combatants. And we certainly were surprised. If it weren't for those holdouts at Bastogne, who knows what could have happened in that desperate last thrust. So, surprise is something that we won't be surprised. I won't be surprised if something happened. But I'm preparing everyone and myself to roll up our sleeves and continue with this job, this battle. This is a clip I'm going to put up. I want you all to listen to this. I'm going to put this up as a separate video, the entire clip, on a pre-recorded video using my other device, which is clearer. But this, I think, is a seminal moment in the Kari Lake versus Hobbs case. And you all will get the point as to why. This is a young lady that was there and was seeing pieces of paper, I'll say, being brought in purses and unmarked boxes and delivered willy-nilly, and was talking about the process that she witnessed. And she was asked a question by this um, attorney who demands respect, demands an end to our questioning things, and wants to sanction others. This is something that happened earlier during the trial. Not a lot of people picked up on it, but I think it is a seminal moment. So I'll go ahead and play it now.
So I'm going to ask you a legal question, but you only have to answer if you have an understanding about it. If you don't have an understanding, it's perfectly fine to say, I don't know. Are you aware that under Arizona law, a ballot is not actually unlawful if it is, the term that's used sometimes is harvested or ballot collection, but if somebody who is not authorized to handle it deposits it, or like what happened at Runback, if somebody brings it and inserts it into the stream, but not into a designated authorized drop box. Are you aware that under Arizona law that is not actually an unlawful ballot?
I think the term in the law is an invalid ballot.
Okay. Just 1 minute, Your Honor. Mm-hmm.
Ouch. After that, he turned around and said, no more questions, and turned around and walked away. I'm going to do a video on this moment that you all can share with your friends. But you caught that, I'm sure. You caught that. He got smacked flat by someone who was a little more familiar with the law than he was. So I want to say that we don't know who we're dealing with, what we're dealing with these people. But we do know we're making big inroads. Here's something put up for you. We know instinctually when we look at them that there's something wrong. Let me see what's going on in the chats. Yeah, burn. That's right, Wanda. Invalid. That's right. It's up to us to spread the truth. Hi, Sharon. Merry Christmas to you, honey. Everybody, Merry Christmas. Well, I appreciate you, Pamela. But yeah, that I'm going to think of a good title for that, make a good thumbnail, and do. You know how you share videos if they're an hour long? You know the people aren't going to watch it. And I don't know when I'm streaming when I'm going to come up with something that's going to pop in my head that I feel passionate about, and I'll say something. You know, and the rest of the videos, they don't want to watch us chat or go through that. They're not going to watch it. So I need to take moments and put them in short pre-recorded videos and post them. And I'm going to start doing that. This is one that I'm going to do. I'm going to record it in a higher quality and put it out there because that is the crux of the matter. Under the law, the word is invalid. He was trying to be slick. He was saying, it's not unlawful to do that. And she countered with invalid. Okay, she's right. That doesn't mean they're unlawful. And she never said that anybody was breaking law. She just pointed out that her experience, people were delivering invalid pieces of paper. Okay. So here's one somebody put up. The big guy getting his 10% right here. Getting his 10%. If y'all hadn't seen this yet, want to get a screenshot. Red's in the chats. How you doing, Red? Nice to see you, buddy. So there's the big guy getting his 10%. And so in the back of your minds, folks, remember it's Christmas. Remember big battles in history have been fought at Christmas. But I'll tell you something else. Crossing the Delaware and dealing with the Hessians, probably 10% of Americans or colonists at that time, they were called, even knew that happened for many weeks. You know, people weren't able to communicate quickly enough, able to get the whole story out. So, you know, things might happen that we don't know about for a short period of time or maybe even longer. So, given the fact that we know the battle lines here between the people who have sold their soul by their own words, the people who deceive us and practice messaging that that try to twist our psyche, that battle between us and the people who say, "Thank God I'm where I am. Thank God for giving me the abilities He's given me." It wouldn't surprise me if there were actions taken at this time. So, at the same time, I still want to reinforce that we have a struggle, we have a responsibility, and we have to grab the bull by the horns. And we're doing it every day. We can't play into their desires to make us make mistakes. Here's a good one. We got we got we got to comfort the normies and get them to see. I'm sorry, folks. This picture just cracks me up and it makes me think. And like I said, if the lady whose face that is, if she would just get a nickel for every time she appeared in me, she would have a lot of money. So, you know, it's going to be interesting to see the final story. You know, who was playing what role. Um, you know, what was Sean Hannity's role? What was Elon Musk's role? We got a little bit of an inside glimpse, and we went over that in earlier live streams. What are the roles of these people here? Who's playing along, going along to get along, or voting because it's part of the process? I'm going to use that word, and I heard another creator use that same term, process, rather than PLAN, because that has been maligned. And how many are really too deep into the poisonous aspect of this, and who is playing along to achieve the goals we're trying to achieve? And we've come so far, people are realizing who the enemy is now, who the opponent is. I'm going to use that term, opponent. It's not each other, not our own friends and family. And our friends and families need to understand we're not the opponent. We're not their opponent. We got to show them who the real opponent is and who is the ones trying to set a narrative. And I tell you, I'm going to go over that first year of Trump's presidency, which I'm sure will be going down in the history books by people who are a lot smarter and a lot better at putting two and two together than me. There's a good one if you hadn't seen this one yet. I hope it's centered up on the screen where you can get a screenshot. And memes are very powerful. Humor is very powerful. It takes the combative edge off. We don't want to be combative with our friends and family. Bye-bye. You got to put a 4 in the A, because that's a keyword, boss. TR4ITORST. Can you fix that for me, Bubba? because we know what they are. See, talk about the Brenson video. Hi, Frank. How you doing? And we got to see what's going on with this Brunson thing. That's the 6th. And I got to talk about that country south of us. And please don't put it in the chats. BRA, and then the rest of it is ZIL. That action is going to be happening there from what I heard. And they want to avoid conflict, physical conflict, just like we do. And who they're going to be battling is the drug cartels, because that is who is backing up this person who is claiming he's the winner, this Lulu person. Mercenaries and cartels, but is coming to a head very quickly in Brazil, because the swearing in date is a week away. So people got to make choices in that country, and it's going to be showing the world which way things are going. And we don't know what kind of proofs that other people who are involved in this operation have. Okay, I'm reading what Red's put in the chats. The Brunsons apparently have a music thing going. So anyway, Brazil, we gotta keep an eye on that. Oh, I said it. I lost my train of thought. Went ahead and said it. You know, I will say also, in my past live streams when I've talked with people and I've given them timeouts for using keywords, or timeouts for many different reasons. If I don't know you, you know, I don't know you and you don't know me, and I feel that there's problems in the chats, you know, here's a good example. People come in I've never heard of, or they come in sporadically, and I don't know what their intent is. And I know just about everybody in the chats here tonight. So when you come in, if you're new, I've got guidelines in the description for chats about keywords, about hashtags, about foul language, and stuff like that. And we'll get to know each other, you know, through reasonable chats that don't cause problems. So I know some people don't like any kind of foul language or anything, but that is pretty indicative, pretty describes pretty much what where I'm coming from with somebody I've never met before, never seen in the chat. So if I give somebody a timeout, no hard feelings. It's only 5 minutes, and whatever caused the timeout, just try to avoid it in the future. Like I've said, be creative. So anyway, I'm straddling this situation where I say we got to roll our sleeves up, we got to be clear-headed, we got to work with our friends and neighbors, blah blah blah, all that stuff, but also keeping in mind that surprise is very important, and anything can happen. And if it does happen, we know what our job and our responsibility is to comfort people like this. So, this is a Christmas Eve broadcast for anybody who has just tuned in. me see what this is. Oh, that's one I forgot to put up where Elon Musk was offering Twitter supplies on the auction block. But anyway, in the studio, it's hard for me to make out what some things are until I put it on the screen. And I had seen that and didn't know what it was. So anyway, folks, put up a couple of memes. Check out the chats to see what's going on. Hope everybody got their Christmas shopping done. I don't want anybody going out in this weather trying to shop for socks for somebody. It ain't worth it. Give them the IOU. Anyway, folks, so I think the world has to see what's going to happen in that country I just talked about. And there's silence coming from there. Silence. We haven't heard anything except scraps. And you have to be careful about talking about it. And the other neighboring country, Peru, that was a failed color revolution by communist-centric leadership that's failed spectacularly. As far as I know, he's still in jail. You know, so I think they're not going to do anything publicly big time to disrupt what's going on, what we saw in that courtroom, what we know is happening in that southern country I just talked about. All these things are dramas that people are going to have to see and digest before anything earth-shattering comes up. But you know, I know, just about everybody in this chat knows that we're making big inroads and that a lot of people are shaking in their boots and they're going to find it hard to get out of this. And one thing I didn't get a screenshot of was Trump said, and I was going to put this in my thumbnail, I was going to put the words step up, step up. Now, I didn't want anybody to misconstrue it to think I was calling for citizens to step up or do anything out of line. That's a quote from Donald Trump. He said, now's the time for prosecutors and judges to step up. He said that yesterday. Hi, Kangara. Kangara, how you doing? Merry Christmas to you. And I said last week, prosecutors are the ones in focus right now. They're the ones who have the keys to a lot of the situation that's going, the failure to pursue criminal acts. They're running cover. They're blocking. Who's going to bring charges against Joe Biden for willingly and knowingly, that's another term to keep in your mind, knowingly breaking the law on the border. Prosecutors aren't doing anything. Or prosecutors overly aggressively pursue one side over the other. Look at the KYLE case, that young man. What they tried to do to him. Look what they tried to do to Flynn. Look what they tried to do to Roger Stone. Look what they're trying to do to Trump. So the prosecutors are on the hot seat right now. And we got to go through that process of weeding them out. All the pictures I put up of the senators that voted for this omnibus, you know, we've already picked through that garden, and we know which is the weeds and the wheat from the chaff, so to speak. And so now we're getting in a situation with our justice system. Prosecutors and judges, as Trump said, need to step up. And we'll see. And that judge, if you look at that video again that I just played, where the lady said indisputable legal fact, using the word invalid. The judge was blocked by the lawyer that put himself in a hot seat. So I couldn't see the judge's reaction. That would have been very interesting because me and Red looked at a body language video and picking up little cues on the way the judge was behaving. But in this particular instance, where she said, I believe the legal term is invalid, you couldn't see the judge, see if he kind of shot up in his chair or wiggled around or what happened. So it's going to be interesting. And let's see. You got to go back in your mind about everybody that Donald Trump visited. Everybody he visited. The Prime Minister of Japan, the President of China, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, the Queen of England. All the places he's been. Trudeau, Argentina, the President in Argentina, everybody that he's met. He's always looked in charge, okay? He's always looked like he was happy. They always looked like they wish they were somewhere else. And they wish Trump was somewhere else. But he's not going anywhere. And that's the bottom line with that. So anyway, folks, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. And I think I've got a good signal. And I'm glad everything came through and I don't see any complaints. And, I got frustrated last night, and I apologize for getting frustrated because my volume was not good or this was wrong and that was wrong. Hi, Lucy. How are you? That's right, Debbie. Ghosts in the Machines. Body language ghosts. That's right, Bub. Welcome aboard, Bub. We watched that a little bit with the judge. And Red asked me, what do you think about how the judge was acting? And I said, well, yeah, he did do some asides to the government attorneys, the county attorneys. He did look like he was commiserating with them with looks. But then again, you don't know what this judge's role is. He was also looking at his cell phone. Was he getting messages from people? We don't know if that's a white hat sending the judge a message on a cell phone. And I said to myself, and I said to Red, if I were in a position where I was to flush out these prosecutors, attorneys, people in government that were no good, I wanted to walk them into a trap. Hey, if I need to wink at them or smile at them or get them to feel comfortable around me, I'll do it. If it's my job to get them to walk into a trap, so we don't know if this is what that judge is doing. But on the other hand, we don't know if he's beholden to people. But like I've said before, there are people who are a lot smarter than me, that know a lot more than me, who are paying attention to this situation. But we're not blind. We know what's going on. There we go. We just have to wait till everything gets unveiled. Okay, Patriot Starfighter. Yeah, he was rolling his eyes. Yeah, I see that, Bub. Like I said, you never know if he's just getting them to let their hair down. And the more they tell him, the more he can turn over if he is working with our cause. He might be somebody that they've said, look, we know you've done things and you need to cooperate with us so you won't be in so much trouble. He could be playing along with them. I don't know. Let's see. All right, folks, I'm going to go ahead and play Laura Logan since everything's playing clear, and I'm not going to do a broadcast tomorrow unless there's big news or my brain kicks in and something I, am passionate about and want to talk about. But I don't plan on doing one tomorrow. I want everybody to have a very Merry Christmas and to know that we're on the right path and things are coming together and things are being exposed and people are being woken up every single day. And there are a lot more people who are spending their holiday time conniving, strategizing, squirming, thinking how to get out of things or how to forestall things or how to trip up Trump or how to discredit us. And that's no way to spend a Christmas, folks. I'm not going to spend my Christmas that way. They got to spend their Christmas that way, not me. So y'all have a great evening. Let me put Laura Logan on the screen. It isn't the complete clip. I transfer things over this video and it just doesn't get the whole clip for some reason, but it's got enough of it, and I'll play it. And if you all are new to the channel, haven't seen it, when I'm on a different device, you'll see the whole clip, or I will put it in 2 clips. So you all have a great night, and I appreciate you tuning in and be with me. Have a very Merry Christmas. Always remember the reason for the season, and we're going to keep our troops in our prayers and everybody that has more knowledge of this, because as we know, those who know cannot sleep. We know how difficult and horrible it is. And we also know it's a fine balance to keep a civilized society. And the first law of war is humanity. Humanity. To mitigate human suffering. But we also have to win. Okay? So with that in mind, folks, you all have a very Merry Christmas, and I'll be talking to you soon. This is Mountain Man. I'll play Laura Logan for you. This is Mountain Man, over and out.
Corralled into this box where we either have to hate Vladimir Putin and believe everything evil that's said about him and love Ukraine, and there's no in between. And that reminds me a lot of you're either a white supremacist or you go with the Democrat narrative on everything under the sun.
The most lethal terrorist threat to the homeland today, white supremacy.
And I want to understand white rage, and I'm white.
I mean, there's just as much interference here as you could possibly imagine. Before you even get to Hunter Biden, Nancy Pelosi, John Kerry, Mitt Romney, and all of their children who earn millions from Ukrainian gas companies. These days, it's hard to believe anything because they've lied about COVID, they lied about Russia collusion, they lied about the Ukraine impeachment trial, and there's so much more going on in Ukraine that nobody is talking about.
Does Ukraine have chemical or biological weapons?
My job as a journalist is to try to understand what is the truth here. I don't like being lied to, and we're being lied to on an epic scale. When we're told your only choice is you have to be 100% with